What's up everybody, I am Jaspreet Singh and welcome to the Minority Mindset. Have you ever seen how Indian people use their money? It's different. See, Indian people earn money not to use it, but to save it. American people, on the other hand, earn money to spend it, usually through the help of financing. I've joked about this before, but Indian people earn $1 to spend 20 cents, while American people earn $1 to spend $2 with lines of credit and credit cards and financing. OMG. Somebody sound the alarms, Jaspreet. You can't just stereotype and discriminate people like that. I mean, it's 2019. Yeah, I know. But stereotypes don't just come out of nowhere through fairy tales. A lot of them are based off of reality. And the truth is, Indian culture breeds people to save, while American culture breeds people to spend. And I can say this because I've seen both ends. My parents are Indian immigrants. I've spent a lot of time in India and I grew up in America. In the Indian culture, spending money is almost like a game where the goal is to keep as much money as possible while always trying to get the best deal. But there are two exceptions to this Indian saving, not spending money rule, and this is really the only two places where you'll see Indian people spend money. Stereotype. The first place Indian people will splurge is formal education, and the second place where Indian people will spend money is their wedding. Indian parents want to give their kids a good formal education. This way their kids can go out and become doctors, so their kids can become high income earners, so they have the ability to save a whole bunch of money. I was one of the fortunate ones where my parents gave me two options as to what I could be when I grew up. They said, Jaspreet, you can either become a doctor or you can become a failure. You get to choose. And I chose the second, obviously. That's why I'm on your screen. How you doing? My parents wanted the best for me, but it was very hard for them to wrap their head around this whole idea of entrepreneurship and investing until after I became successful and after my business was featured on the news and all of that, because you have to risk giving up this whole safety net of becoming a doctor and having a big salary and having this huge savings account. And if you try to tell them they're wrong, they'll tell you the story. Entrepreneur, tera dimag kharab ho gaya. You know, I come this country with $20 and I work 7 days a week. I don't know anybody, so you can have good education and now you want to run around saying you're an entrepreneur. Stupid. Indian people know how to save their money, but when it comes to formal education, all money rules go out the window. Oh, $250 to go Disney World? No. Just go YouTube and look at what Disney World looks like. Oh, $250 for biology textbook? How about you buy 2 of them because your brain is half broken and you learn to be double smart? In the American culture, people encourage this experiential learning where you travel and meet people and network and explore different cultures. This way you can see what is out in the world, even if you don't necessarily have the money to afford this experiential learning. Why? Because this opportunity will let you go out and find yourself and see what you actually like to do. Try to tell Indian parents that you want to go and put this $5,000 journey on your credit card so you can go and find yourself. Oh, you can't find yourself, huh? Well, I bought you this mirror. There you are. Okay, now go study. It's like two polar extremes. Indian people hate anything that does not involve a textbook, and in the American culture, it is becoming more and more common to go and finance a journey around the world to go and find yourself. Second, let's talk about weddings. So I'm not married yet, but I worked in the wedding industry for like 10 or 11 years, and most of my time working in the wedding industry was at Indian weddings. And while Indian people are cheap, they like to go big at weddings. One of my friends was telling me about this big American wedding that he went to with like 150 people there. Compare that to 3 weeks ago when I was at a small Indian wedding that lasted 5 or 6 days, and there was about 500 people at each event. Indian people save up their whole life so they can splurge on their wedding week, and so now spending $100,000 on a wedding isn't reserved for the rich. It is like almost common practice now, which is why so many people are going into deep debt to finance a huge wedding. While these weddings look cool and magical, it puts a lot of pressure on families and young people to save up their whole lives just for this 1 week or 1 weekend. even if you can't necessarily afford it. Don't get me wrong, if you want to spend $250,000 or $400,000 on your wedding, be my guest. I mean, I used to work in the wedding business a few years ago. That would mean that it's a bigger paycheck for me. But if you can't afford it, is it really worth all that debt for one weekend of fun? Now you can see there's a big difference between the Indian style of spending, which is save, 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 and then splurge on formal education and weddings, and then the American style of spending, which is to enjoy life and experience life and extend every dollar you can to the furthest possible extent. Now, I understand that these are extreme generalities and this doesn't apply to everybody and there are exceptions to everything. I get that, and I understand that this is 2019, about to be 2020, so everybody gets offended over everything. But we're talking about the finances here, and so let's talk about which is a better financial model. The better financial model is neither. The best thing you can do is learn from both of these. This way you can apply the best pieces of both to your life. Living below your means is very important to achieving any sort of financial success. That's the first stepping stone you have to understand before you do anything else. Financing things that you don't need, that you can't afford, that don't pay you with money that's not yours is the #1 reason why the majority of people will never build wealth. But now, what you do with this money that you put aside is what will make you or break you. Saving is losing. I've talked about this before, but nobody became wealthy by saving your money. Sorry, uncle and auntie. But you can become wealthy by investing your money. When you save your money is losing value to inflation. When you save your money looks like this. It's just growing at a flat, straight line versus the price of things keep going up faster and faster and faster because of inflation. That means you're effectively getting poorer because your savings have less buying power. So now you're learning to be money smart. You've saved some money and you have investments and you built this financial cushion. Now what do you do with your money and how do you spend it on yourself? We talked about not financing things, but money only has value if you use it. And now when you have this cushion and you have these investments built, now you can use this money to make your life easier and more comfortable. I mean, having a whole bunch of money in the bank that you never use is kind of useless. It's just like having a number on a piece of paper. Your investments will generate you passive income month after month or year after year without you really thinking about it. But now that you have this extra money, you can use it to improve your lifestyle, because if you don't like to do something, like if you don't like going shopping or if you don't like cooking, you can hire people to do this for you. Spending all your money and living paycheck to paycheck and living in debt because you want to experience life today because YOLO isn't the best thing to do. But either is saving every penny you can and denying yourself from buying anything because you want to save. It's finding that right balance. In the beginning, yeah, you got to make a lot of sacrifices so you can build that savings cushion. But once you build that cushion, now you can invest a percentage of every dollar you make. And now it's about making smart financial decisions with your money. This way you can live the best financial life. Like being able to splurge on things that are important to you or that you like while being able to afford it. Now, as you're on your journey of building your wealth, you're going to want to stay up to date on what's happening in the finance and business world. This way you can be smart with your money. That's why we created the Minority Mindset newsletter, where we give you financial news you can finally use. First, our team breaks down the most relevant and important finance and business news stories. Second, we show you how this news affects your wallet. And third, you become financially smart. It's really as simple as that. And this newsletter is completely free, and you can subscribe to it by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description below. Results are not guaranteed, and common side effects include feeling more confident and getting more winks in the office. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button and share it with one friend so we can help spread the word. Don't miss our new videos on entrepreneurship, business, and money every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell below. That way you actually find out when our new videos are released. And as always, keep hustling.